All right, welcome everyone. And this is another Long Island Org Sunday service. And we will start today with the Creed of the Church of Scientology. Okay, here we go. Yamani.
We of the church believe
that all men of whatever race, color, or creed
were created with equal rights.
That all men have inalienable rights.
To their own religious practices and their performance.
That all men have inalienable rights
to their own lives. That all men have inalienable rights
to their sanity.
That all men have inalienable rights
to their own defense.
That all men have inalienable rights
to conceive, choose, assist, or support their own organizations, churches, and governments.
That all men have inalienable rights to think freely, to talk freely,
to write freely their own opinions,
and to counter or utter or write upon the opinions of others.
That all men have inalienable rights to the creation of their own kind.
That the souls of men have the rights of men.
That the study of the mind
and the healing of mentally caused ills
should not be alienated from religion
or condoned in non-religious fields.
And that no agency less than God has the power to suspend or set aside these rights, overtly or covertly.
And we of the church believe
that man is basically good.
That he is seeking to survive.
That his survival depends upon himself and upon his fellows,
and his attainment of brotherhood with the universe. And we of the church believe
that the laws of God forbid man
to destroy his own kind,
to destroy the sanity of another,
to destroy or enslave another's soul,
to destroy or reduce the survival of one's companions or one's group.
And we of the church believe
that the spirit can be saved, and that the spirit alone may save or heal the body.
All right, so and let's move on with today's sermon, which is pretty amazing. It's the conditions of existence: be, do, and have. Here we go. There are three conditions of existence. These three conditions comprise life. They are be, do, and have. The condition of being is defined as the assumption of a category of identity. It could be said to be the role in a game, and an example of beingness could be one's own name. Another example would be one's profession. Another example would be one's physical characteristics. Each or all of these things could be called one's beingness. Beingness is assumed by oneself or given to oneself or is attained. For example, in the playing of a game, each player has his own beingness. The second condition of existence is doing. By doing, we mean action, function, accomplishment, the attainment of goals, the fulfilling of purpose, or any change in position in space. The third condition is havingness. By havingness, we mean owning, possessing, being capable of commanding, positioning, taking charge of objects, energies, or spaces. The essential definition of having is to be able to touch or permeate or to direct the disposition of. The game of life demands that one assume a beingness in order to accomplish a doingness in the direction of havingness. These three conditions are given in an order of seniority where life is concerned. The ability to be is more important than the ability to do. The ability to do is more important than the ability to have. In most people, all three conditions are sufficiently confused that they are best understood in reverse order. When one has clarified the idea of possession or havingness, one can then proceed to clarify doingness for general activity, and when this is done, one understands beingness or identity. A lot of riddles of human behavior can be solved by realizing this goes out of sequence or gets omissions. The Spanish peasant and the Spanish officials go to war at the drop of a straw. Their history is jammed with revolts. The peasant knows that if he is a peasant, be, he does his work, do, he should have. The Spanish official is stuck in be. He has, so he can be, and he doesn't have to do anything. Also, a degree of title in Spain is a be, and there is no do. So there is no have unless it comes from the peasant. The two alter cycles collide. Juvenile delinquency and shattered lives in the West stem directly from corruptions of this cycle. Children in the West are commonly asked, "What are you going to be when you grow up?" It is a silly question and can drive any child up the wall because it's the wrong question, hits the wrong end of the cycle. He's also asked, "What are you going to do in life?" That's just as bad. It is quite difficult to answer. You have to work it out backwards. Establish the product, have. Find out what to do to achieve it, and only then, really, can you accurately discover what one has to be to accomplish this. A lot of people fail because they don't do this. A beingness taken first all too often winds up in a doingness without any havingness resulting. If we ask children, "What do you want to produce in life?" we could probably get a workable answer. From that, he could figure out what he'd have to do to produce that, and from that, he could know what he had to be. Then, with a little cooperation, he would be able to lead a happy and valuable life. Concentrating on be, one finds him ready to be, all right, but then he stands around the next 50 years waiting for his havingness to fall out of the sky or slide to him via a welfare state. This data, missing in society, contributes to juvenile delinquency, crime, the welfare state, and a dying civilization. It is an essential to a successful existence that each of these three conditions be clarified and understood. Learn more about how the conditions of existence apply in life. Read L. Ron Hubbard's Scientology, The Fundamentals of Thought. Consider the first book of Scientology. It is filled with basic principles you can put to immediate use to increase your understanding. I don't know about you, but I find this so very applicable every single time. I mean, LRH says here that the ability to be is more important than the ability to do. The ability to do is more important than the ability to have, right? It is, in terms of importance, a be, do, and have. Okay, you assume a beingness in order to accomplish a doingness in the direction of havingness. But people confuse this with how to make the decision of a workable order of this. So because they do consider perhaps the beingness as the most important of the three, they don't work it out there in the right order, and they say, I want to be a king. But then they cannot figure out the rest of the do and have. But if they started with actually identifying and establishing what is the have, what is the product they want to end up achieving, then they can say, okay, to achieve that product, you know, I have to do that. I have to study that. I have to learn that. I have to work so many hours a day. I have to do this marketing approach or this or that in order for me to be that. So, not only the order is out, but many times people assume one of these things without doing anything else. Because even if you start from have and you say, I want to have this, I want to have $1 billion right now, but you actually do not figure out the do and the be in order to achieve these $1 billion, then where does that take us also? So it's very important really that we understand the mechanics of how this whole thing works and actually disseminate these mechanics to others so that people can be really looking at the right sequence of things and making the right decisions and things. What do you guys think?
Very, very good. Very simple data and something that we should all work on applying better. Or at least myself. This is Keith, by the way.
Hey, Keith, yeah. Manny, what do you think? Oh, Manny, hold on. We gotta unmute you. Hold on a second. You have to click the button unmute, Manny. I cannot do it for you. There is a button there that says the word unmute. And I cannot. Ah, there you go. Nice to hear your voice, Manny.
Yes, thanks. I think with this thing is applying sequence and do the conditions, how much you are doing the havingness. So follow the condition, apply in sequence, and have a plan, a project, and the goals.
Yeah.
So keep the admin with it.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, we see it many times in businesses too. Somebody wants to be a boss. Somebody wants to be this, but they can't figure out anything else after that, you know.
Right.
Okay. Anybody else would like to share something? Yeah. Okay. Did I cut you off, Manny?
Pardon me?
Did I cut you off? Did you want to say something
No,
else?
no, it's not all right. This is the best technology we have. It's got to apply it and learn more on day-to-day basis and see whether you apply it fully or not. That's very important.
Awesome.
If you don't monitor, you get lost.
Awesome. Very good.
Yeah, thanks.
Anything else? I think we have Tim, we have Wendy, we have Mitch, and I think we have Malcolm, although, yeah, we do have Malcolm too. So anybody else would like to say something? I'm gonna try to, I cannot unmute you guys. Unfortunately, you have to unmute yourselves if you wanna say something.
I was, can you hear me?
Yes.
So I was just, while you were reading that, I was thinking about the point of asking a kid what they wanted to having this as far as that goes. And I remember when I was a kid, that's all I used to talk about, what I wanted to have when I grew up.
Yeah.
Just thought it was interesting.
Yes. Yes, that's how it works. Tim, go ahead.
Yeah, I was kind of adding to what Manny had to say there, how wonderful and simple this technology is, and kind of reflect back, years ago when I had this all kind of backwards or not following the be do have, comparing it to like right now, the be do have and applying it properly and very simply, it just the results are just phenomenal, and just things are in alignment through your whole dynamics. It's just beautiful to review this.
Yeah. Awesome. Anybody else would like to share something? All right then. Okay, of course, always the reminders of staying well and keeping well, and making sure that you listen to the PBAs and disseminating them. And I am going to play for you the personal integrity video right now. Okay, here we go.
What is true for you is what you have observed yourself. And when you lose that, you have lost everything. What is personal integrity? Personal integrity is knowing what you know. What you know is what you know. And to have the courage to know and say what you have observed. And that is integrity. And there is no other integrity. Of course, we can talk about honor, truth, nobility, all these things as esoteric terms. But they would all be covered very well if what we really observed was what we observed. That we took care to observe what we were observing. That we always observed to observe. And not necessarily maintaining a skeptical attitude, a critical attitude, or an open mind. Not necessarily maintaining these things at all. But certainly maintaining sufficient personal integrity and sufficient personal belief and confidence in self and courage that we can observe what we observe and say what we have observed. Nothing in Scientology is true for you unless you have observed it. And it is true according to your observation. That is all.
All right. Okay, so any announcements we have from the org or the OT committee other than the Monday meeting?
I have the Go OT briefing on at 7 o'clock tomorrow, and that is going to be basically about what I'm going to be speaking, and I'm going to be going over my successful actions for arriving and going all the way, and what I did to allow myself to be there and to make it onto OT7. Having actually completing in that process superpower cause resurgence 2 Ls and all the way from OT preps completion through onto OT7. So that's tomorrow at 7 p.m. and there's been promo that's been sent out, but it's going to be on the same link as the OT committee meeting.
That's awesome. Very good. All right, anything from the org?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, Mitch, we can.
Hey, so we're still hoping that we're going to open within a few days. You know, you'll hear from us, but we're doing, you know, things to prepare the org, and then we're going to call everybody up. And we're going to do a very special graduation briefing. Okay, that's pretty much what's cooking. Do your extension courses. I mean, the data there is totally invaluable. You know, like I saw this First American ACC as it's like a whole new level. He just keeps coming up with things that are viewpoints that are amazing, and they're true, and they change your viewpoint on reality. So, you know, take advantage of any time that you have and study. Get through your basics. That's pretty much it for me.
All right. Awesome. Okay, if there is nothing else that anybody would like to share, then I am going to read you the prayer for total freedom. Okay, here we go. May the author of the universe enable all men to reach an understanding of their spiritual nature. May awareness and understanding of life expand so that all may come to know the author of the universe. And may others also reach this understanding, which brings total freedom. At this time, we think of those whose liberty is threatened, of those who have suffered imprisonment for their beliefs, of those who are enslaved or martyred, and for all those who are brutalized, trapped, or attacked. We pray that human rights will be preserved so that all people may believe and worship freely, so that freedom will once again be seen in our land. Freedom from war and poverty and want, freedom to be, freedom to do, and freedom to have. Freedom to use and understand man's potential, a potential that is God-given and God-like. and freedom to achieve that understanding and awareness. That is total freedom. May God let it be so. LRH. So I wish you all to have a fantastic week. Join next Sunday's Sunday service. Next Sunday's topic will be how to obtain greater certainty. And we're going to make sure that we're going to send early on promo out for everybody to know. There is a possibility, I'm working on that right now. There's some change in what the Florida's governor has issued, who the Florida's governor has lifted at this point the 2-week quarantine for people who travel from New York. So we are waiting to see what's going to happen with any change in the flag policy in regards to people going to flag from New York. So in the event that for a couple of weeks I become unavailable to do Sunday services, I'll request that some of you step up and help in regards to this. If I become unable in terms of timing to deliver, although I think even remotely, I'll be able to do this from anywhere. Okay, so thank you all. Have a fantastic and productive week, and see you all next week. Take care, everyone.